Imagine a moment so ordinary you barely notice it. You are walking down a street, sitting in a room, standing in line, breathing, and then everything stops. Not slows down, not freezes gradually. Stops. The wind hangs motionless in the air. A bird is suspended mid-flight. A falling object remains perfectly still, as if gravity itself has been paused. People around you are frozen in place. Eyes open, expressions locked, bodies unmoving. Time has stopped for everyone, except you. At first, your mind refuses to accept it. You wave your hand in front of someone's face. No reaction. You shout. No sound echoes back because even sound waves are frozen. Your own voice exists only inside your head. The world is perfectly silent. You move and the world does not respond. Panic rises quickly. Every human instinct tells you something is catastrophically wrong. You try to run, but even your footsteps make no sound. You touch objects and feel their texture, their weight. You can move them, but once released, they hang in place, unmoving, as if time refuses to carry them forward. You realize something terrifying. Physics still applies to you, but not to the world. Light reaches your eyes, but nothing changes. Fire does not burn. Water does not flow. A flame is frozen in its shape. A wave stands like a solid wall of glass. Rain hangs in the sky as endless beads of water. You are alone in motion. At first, survival becomes the immediate concern. You are still hungry, still tired, still breathing. Your body continues to function normally, but food spoils? Does it age? You discover that objects untouched by time do not decay. Food remains exactly as it was when time stopped. You can eat it, but once you take a bite, that bite belongs to your timeline now. Resources are infinite and meaningless. You explore cities frozen in motion. Cars are suspended inches above the road. People are caught mid-step, mid-word, mid-thought. A doctor's hand is frozen above a patient. A child is locked in laughter. A person is trapped in a moment of fear that will never resolve. You begin to understand something unsettling. Every person is frozen at the exact mental state they were in when time stopped. No one knows this has happened. No one experiences the pause. Only you do. Days pass, or at least what feel like days to you. There is no sunrise or sunset. The sky never changes. The sun does not move. There is no night. Your sleep cycle becomes confused. You sleep when exhausted, wake when your body decides. Time is now internal, not external. Loneliness sets in faster than expected. At first, you talk to people, pretending they can hear you. Then you stop. Conversations feel pointless when there can be no response. Human connection becomes a memory rather than a reality. You try to interact more aggressively with the world. You push objects, move people, rearrange environments. But something feels wrong. People are not mannequins. They are lives paused mid-existence. Moving them feels like violating something sacred. You test limits. You drive a car. It moves only while you push it. Engines do not function because combustion is frozen. Electricity does not flow. Digital devices are useless. Technology exists only as static matter. You begin to grasp the scale of what has happened. Civilization has not ended. It has been suspended, and you are the only variable left inside it. Psychologically, the strain becomes intense. With no external change, your mind becomes the only place where time still exists. Memories accumulate, thoughts echo. There is no distraction, no novelty. Exploration loses its thrill when nothing ever changes. You start to wonder why this happened to you. Was it random? A mistake? A test? A punishment? There is no sign, no message, no explanation. The universe offers silence. You consider dangerous ideas. What happens if you hurt someone frozen in time? What happens if you move something too far? What happens if you alter the world before time resumes? If it ever does, every action feels permanent because the moment time starts again, everything you changed will suddenly matter. The weight of responsibility becomes crushing. You are not just surviving in a frozen world. You are the only living future inside it. And as that realization settles in, another, far more disturbing question begins to form. What if time never starts again? And what happens to a human mind when it is the only thing still moving forward, forever? As what you call days turn into weeks, the frozen world begins to feel less like a miracle and more like a psychological trap. With no sunrise, no night, and no external rhythm, time exists only inside your body and mind. You measure existence by hunger, exhaustion, and memory, fragile markers in a world that refuses to move. Loneliness becomes the dominant force. At first, you seek comfort in proximity. You sit beside people, stand in crowds, visit familiar places. But proximity is not presence. Faces never change. Expressions never soften. There is no warmth of response. Human connection, stripped of interaction, becomes unbearable. You realize that every person is frozen in the middle of a thought, an emotion, a decision. Fear never resolves. Joy never completes. Pain never ends. Billions of lives are paused in unfinished moments, and you are the only one aware of it. Guilt follows quickly. You walk through hospitals and see hands frozen inches away from saving lives. You pass accidents locked in the moment before impact. You know that if time ever resumes, those moments will continue exactly where they left off. Nothing you do now can save anyone unless you interfere. The temptation to intervene grows. You begin moving objects, rearranging scenes, altering outcomes. You push someone out of harm's way. You move a car. You remove a weapon from a frozen hand. Each change feels small, justified. But every change is a decision made without consent, without accountability. You become judge and editor of reality. With no laws, no witnesses, and no consequences until time resumes, morality becomes terrifyingly personal. You are free in a way no human ever has been, and that freedom is crushing. Your mind begins to fracture under isolation. Without conversation, language weakens. Thoughts loop endlessly. You speak out loud just to hear a voice, even though sound itself feels wrong in a silent universe. You begin narrating your actions, your memories, your fears, trying to anchor yourself to sanity. You try to create routines. You walk the same paths, sleep at regular intervals, write notes knowing no one may ever read them. Creativity becomes survival. You draw, you write, you imagine futures that may never arrive. Technology offers no escape. Electricity does not flow. Networks are dead. Machines are inert. Humanity's greatest tools are frozen relics, useless without time to power them. You attempt to leave cities to explore nature, but nature is frozen too. Rivers do not flow. Leaves do not move. Animals are locked mid-motion. Even the wind is gone. The world feels like a perfect replica of reality, stripped of its soul. As isolation deepens, your sense of self begins to blur. Without others to reflect who you are, identity becomes unstable. You forget how your voice sounds in conversation. You forget how it feels to be responded to. The concept of we disappears. There is only you. You begin to fear something worse than death. Eternity. What if this never ends? What if this is not a pause, but a separation? What if the universe continues forward, but only through you? Your body ages. Your hair grows. Your muscles weaken. Time is still moving for you, and that means decay is inevitable. Immortality is an illusion. You are not eternal. You are simply alone. Eventually, the realization becomes unavoidable. If time does not resume, your existence will end quietly, without witnesses, without continuation. Humanity will remain frozen forever, preserved in an endless moment, while you vanish completely. And then one final thought emerges, heavier than all the rest. If time ever starts again, no one will know what you experienced. No one will remember your choices, your suffering, your responsibility. You will re-enter the world as a single human carrying the weight of eternity, surrounded by people who believe no time has passed at all. In that moment, you will understand the true cost of being the only one who kept moving. Not power, not freedom, but isolation so complete that even the universe felt empty. And that is what happens when time stops for everyone. Except you.